Hey there everyone! I used to love watching cartoons in my childhood, and that experience was fascinating for me. Even a few years back, whenever I watched an animated video, I used to wonder how they were created, but not anymore. Today I will be sharing my knowledge of animation with you. I'm sure after watching this video, you would get an understanding of how animation works too. Animation, in simple terms, is a continuous changing of images where each picture is slightly different from the previous one, which creates an illusion of motion. After installing the software, you will be having a similar interface as mine. So just go to Files and click New, and we will keep the size the same as default, but change the resolution to 100 or 72. Time opening the software, let's set up the environment by clicking on Windows icon and then the workspace, then turn on animation workspace. In animation, each image is drawn on a new frame, and you can create a blank frame by clicking on this button. Let's draw the classical example of a ball to understand how Krita works. Now, as you can see, I have created a ball using a circular shape, and then just fill it with red color. And then I will create a new blank frame and turn on onion skinning option, which will let me see the previously drawn frames on the current frame. And then just copy the previous frame over and then use the selection tool to select the ball drawn. Then I would use the transform tool option to change the position of the ball on the canvas. As we know, animation is drawn on 24 frames, but to save time and effort, we will be skipping one frame after every frame we draw. Then I will repeat the same process of copying the previous frame over and then using the transform tool option for changing the position of the ball in each frame, and 20 frames later we will have a bouncing ball. So whenever we want to show the object slowing down, we decrease the distance between frames, and whenever we want to show the object speeding up, we will gradually increase the distance between the frames. This phenomenon is known as easing. So now I will apply this principle to the ball drawn previously and increase the distance between frames when the ball is close to hitting the ground, and decrease the distance between frames when the ball is on the peak. So the second principle is squash and stretch, which says that every object changes its shape during motion. Like when any object is at fast speed, it stretches, and whenever it stops or hits something, it squashes. This behavior makes the animation look real. So now let's apply this principle to our bouncing ball and see how much difference it will make. Now, the third principle is arc, which says that every object should motion in curves, not straight lines, because the movement in curves is more natural. So now, let's draw a new ball to try and verify this principle. So now, As we can see, the motion in the curve of this ball clearly looks more natural. So now let's apply the previously learned principles of squash and stretch and easing to this animation and see how this looks. The next principle is anticipation, which simply means preparing viewers for an upcoming event ahead of time, so they do not miss that important event. We can apply the principle of anticipation on our ball by squashing the ball in the start, create a motion of ball charging energy before the launch. So now let's try it and see how it would look. Now the next principle is staging, in which we use the environment, background, and camera position, and to control the focus of the viewer. Now we will apply this principle to a ball animation by adding a background color and creating a platform below the ball, and then creating a motion on the platform whenever the ball hits the platform. Now last but not the least principle is exaggeration, which simply means to overdo everything, which makes animation look much more fun and exciting. So now let's apply this principle to our animation by using the line tool to create the speed effect on the ball whenever it is stretched. Now after applying this principle, this is how our animation looks. I think we can further improve this animation by drawing facial expressions on our ball, and this is how it looks after drawing faces. Now let's revisit all the principles by watching this animation of a hammer hitting the nail. As you can see, the animation does not look very exciting or fun right now. So let's see how it will look after applying all the principles. Now, this looks like a proper animation. So now to conclude this video, let us understand where the principles are being used in this animation. As you can see, the hammer moves backwards before hitting. This is anticipation. Now, when the hammer hits the nail, the ground is cracked, and the other nail bounces a little on impact. This is staging. Finally, After the hammer hits the nail, the other nail runs away, which is exaggeration in action.